2 years ago, I had only $347 in my bank account. I was drowning in $43,000 in debt, living paycheck to paycheck and eating instant noodles 4 nights a week. I didn't have money to go out with friends. I was ashamed to check my balance. Today, I own my dream home. I paid cash, no mortgage, no landlord, total freedom. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it step by step. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme or a cryptocurrency gamble. It's a real system that anyone with a job can follow. And if you're tired of being broke, keep reading, because what I'm about to share will change everything. This video shows you how to break free from the trap of living paycheck to paycheck and build real wealth quickly. Not in 30 years when you're old and tired, in less than 2 years while you're still young. Why does this matter to you? Because 78% of Americans currently live paycheck to paycheck. Most people between the ages of 20 and 30 feel financially trapped and hopeless. They work hard, sometimes 50 or 60 hours a week, but never manage to prosper. They save a little and then an emergency wipes it all out. They see their friends prosper and wonder what they're doing wrong. Sound familiar? Here's what you'll gain by watching until the end. A proven plan that took me from negative net worth to financial freedom in 22 months. You'll learn the exact strategies, the numbers, the mindset shifts, and the mistakes to avoid. This isn't some finance guru's theory. It's what actually worked in real life. So, let's get started. Let me describe the situation most people face today. The average American has $90,000 in debt. Credit cards, student loans, car financing, personal loans. They work 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week just to stay afloat. And retirement? It's a complete joke. Most people under 40 have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. Some have nothing. Imagine this situation. You're on a treadmill running at full speed, sweating, exhausted, but not going anywhere. The scenery remains the same. You're just tired. I was there. At 28, I had $43,000 in debt, split between 3 credit cards, a car loan, and student loans. I had a job I hated and woke up every Monday with a knot in my stomach. 0 savings, not even an emergency fund. Every single month was the same nightmare. The money came in and went out immediately. I'd look at my bank statement on Friday and feel physically ill. My friends were buying houses, getting engaged, traveling to Europe, and I worried about whether I'd be able to pay for groceries and gas in the same week. But then something made sense to me. I realized that the system they teach us doesn't work anymore. Saving 10%, retiring at 65, and hoping everything works out? That's outdated advice from a different economy. I needed a completely new strategy, so I started studying people who actually built wealth while still young. Strategy 1. The zero-based budgeting revolution. Most people make completely wrong budgets. They write down expenses after they've spent them and wonder where the money went. I completely changed that logic. Every penny had a purpose, even before the month began. Why is this so important? Because you can't build wealth if you don't control your money. Right now, it controls you. You're reacting instead of planning. That's exactly how I did it. On the last day of each month, I would sit down with a notebook and assign a purpose to every penny: rent, food, transportation, savings, debt repayment, investments. If I earned $4,000, every penny had a specific destination. Nothing was left over or extra money to spend. A real-life example, in my first month doing this, I discovered I was wasting $430. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, a gym membership I never used, eating out every day, and random Amazon purchases I didn't even remember making. That's $560 a year. Money I didn't even know I was throwing away. That was my first incentive to pay off my debts. The psychological change is enormous. When you control the money instead of wondering where it went, you feel powerful. You make the decisions instead of letting the money make them for you. Strategy 2. The income explosion method. Cutting expenses only gets you so far. You don't get rich just by cutting costs. I needed to earn more, much more. But I didn't sit around waiting for a raise that might never come. Why this matters more than anything else. time is your greatest asset in your 20s and 30s. You have energy. You can work overtime now and reap the rewards for decades. This is your opportunity. Here's exactly how I did it. I started a side business. It wasn't a complicated business that required initial capital. I offered a skill I already had from my full-time job, video editing. I contacted small businesses, YouTubers, and content creators. I dedicated 20 to 25 hours a week outside of my regular job to working for clients. First month, I earned $600. It felt like I'd won the lottery. Sixth month, $3,200. By the 12th month, I was consistently earning more from my side job than from my regular job. In some months, I even earned $4,500 more. Here's the crucial part everyone ignores. I didn't spend that extra income. Not a single cent. Every dollar went directly to paying off debt and then into savings. If you earn an extra $2,000 a month and save it all, that's $24,000 in a year. In 2 years, almost $50,000. That's enough money to buy a house. Other side activities that work: freelance writing, graphic design, virtual assistants, private tutoring, dog walking, driving for ride-sharing apps. Choose something you can start this week. Strategy 3. The turbocharged debt avalanche. I had credit card debt with 19% interest, a car loan with 6% interest, and student loans with 4% interest. Most people pay the minimum forever and then wonder why they're still in debt 5 years later. I dealt with the situation strategically and aggressively. Why this is extremely important. Interest is literally stealing your future. Every month you pay off high-interest debt, you're paying someone to keep you in poverty. That interest could be your savings. Here's the exact method. I listed all my debts by interest rate, from highest to lowest. I paid the minimum on all of them, except for the debt with the highest interest rate. On that one, I used every extra penny I could. When that debt was fully paid off, I moved on to the next one with the highest interest rate. The numbers don't lie, so here are mine. I paid off $43,000 in debt in 14 months. How is that possible? My zero-based budgeting freed up $430 per month. My side job added an average of $2,000 per month, though it varied. That gives me $2,430 per month toward debt repayment. Plus, I sold things I didn't need: old electronics, furniture, clothes, a guitar I never played. That gave me another $3,000 for a bigger down payment. It was aggressive. It was uncomfortable. I turned down dinners, trips, shows, but it worked. On the day I made the final payment, I literally cried. The feeling of freedom is incredible. Strategy 4. The transition to house hacking. Once I was completely debt-free, I didn't celebrate with a vacation or a new car. I made another difficult decision. I moved to a cheaper place where I shared an apartment. This is crucial, and most people don't do it. Why does this matter? Because the difference between what I was paying and what I could afford became my wealth-building machine. That's where the real accumulation of wealth began. I was paying $1,400 for a one-bedroom apartment. Nothing fancy. I moved into a house with 3 other guys, paid $600 for my room, and my share of the bills was about $80. I saved $720 a month just on bills. That's $8,640 a year. In 2 years, $17,280. Was it glamorous? No. Did I have less privacy? Yes. Was it temporary and worth it? Absolutely. I stayed focused on the goal: owning a home without a mortgage. Strategy 5. The division between high-yield savings and index funds now. I had a good amount to save every month, but where you keep your money is just as important as how much you save. Savings accounts at large banks yielded 0.01%. That's practically nothing. Inflation wipes that out. My strategy was a split system. 6 months of expenses went into a high-yield savings account, which earned 4 to 5% through online banking. This was my emergency fund and the down payment for my house. The rest went into low-cost index funds that replicated the S&P 500 every month, religiously. I automated everything, so I didn't even see the money. Real numbers. After paying off my debts, I was saving $3,200 a month through reduced expenses and the extra income I continued to receive. 10 months after getting out of debt, I had $32,000 in financial reserves and another $8,000 in investments. Adding that to the $15,000 I saved in the last few months to pay off debts, I reached a total of $55,000 in cash in 22 months. Strategy 6. The Cash House Opportunity. That's where the strategy worked really well. I wasn't trying to buy a $300,000 suburban house like everyone else. I looked for a house that needed renovations in an up-and-coming neighborhood. I found one for $78,000. It needed repairs, but the structure was in good condition and it was habitable. Why pay cash? No mortgage means no interest, no monthly payments, no bank controlling you, total freedom. And sellers love cash buyers. The deal closes quickly with no outstanding financing obligations. I negotiated and got it for $72,000. I spent over $15,000 on renovations over 6 months. New paint, restored floors, modernized kitchen and bathroom. I did some work myself on weekends and hired professionals for the technical aspects. So what now? Similar houses in my neighborhood are selling for $140,000 to $150,000. I live without a mortgage. My only costs are property tax at $150 per month, insurance at $85 per month, and utility bills, electricity, water, and gas, around $120. Total, about $355 per month. Compare that to my old rent of $1,400. I'm saving over $1,000 a month forever. That's financial freedom. That's building wealth on autopilot. Error 1. Lifestyle inflation. The biggest trap that destroys people: earning more and spending more immediately. When my side job took off and I was earning an extra $3,000 a month, I desperately wanted to upgrade everything. New car, better apartment, fancy dinners, nice clothes, expensive hobbies. Don't do that. Keep living as if you're broke until you're truly rich. Delay gratification. Mistake 2. Waiting for the perfect moment. People always say, "I'll start when I earn more money," or "after the holidays," or "next year when things calm down." There's never a perfect time. Life always has surprises in store. Start now, today, even if it's just $50 a month. Small actions make a difference. Error 3. Progress is not being tracked. I reviewed my numbers every week. Spreadsheets, apps, whatever worked. I watched my debt decrease and my savings increase. This kept me incredibly motivated during the tough times. If you don't track your progress, you'll lose momentum and give up after 2 months. Mistake 4. Trying to do everything alone, I shared my specific goals with close friends. They helped me stay focused and celebrated my achievements. Find someone who truly supports your vision. Avoid people who mock your sacrifices, call you stingy, or constantly tempt you to spend money. Mistake 5. Not increasing income. It's impossible to build wealth on a low income. Cutting expenses helps, but increasing income dramatically accelerates the entire process. Focus on both simultaneously. Let's recap everything we've covered since this is your guide. First, zero-based budgeting, which gave purpose to every penny and freed up money I didn't even know I was wasting. This immediately gave me an extra $430 per month. Secondly, the increase in income from extra work doubled my purchasing power, adding between $2,000 and $4,000 per month. That's when the real wealth building began. Third, the aggressive debt avalanche strategy that eliminated $43,000 in just 14 months, attacking high-interest debts first and with precise targeting. Fourth, the house hacking strategy, which consists of living below my means even when I could spend more, saving an additional $720 per month by temporarily living with roommates. Fifth, the strategic division of my savings between high-yield accounts for emergency funds and index funds for growth, which made my money work for me instead of sitting idle. And finally, buying the house outright gave me complete financial freedom and eliminated my biggest monthly expense forever. This isn't just my story. These are proven principles that work for anyone. You don't need a six-figure salary. You don't need to win the lottery or inherit money. You need a solid plan, daily discipline, and the willingness to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term freedom. Is it possible to do this in your specific situation? Absolutely yes. Here's the hard truth. In 2 years, you'll be somewhere. The only question is where. You could be exactly where you are now, still stressed about money, still living paycheck to paycheck, still dreaming of freedom. Or you could be free, truly free. I am living proof that this works. Not because I'm special or smarter than you. Not because I was lucky, because I followed a system and refused to give up when things got tough. Your change starts today, not tomorrow, not Monday, today. If this video helped you understand what's possible, click the like button right now. This helps YouTube share this video with more people who really need it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Now go build your freedom. Stop dreaming and start acting. You can do it. I believe in you.